Wonderful, everybody. Well, guys, I'm here today to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that's why I think every single person is here watching a webinar today about all of these great classes and about all of this investment education and why you sat through this entire presentation today, and that is opportunity. Everybody in here is looking to make money. Am I right or am I right? Give me a yes in this question box if I am right. I hope that I have 204 of you guys in here. That's exactly, okay, good. Wonderful. I'm getting yeses flowing in like crazy. So when I talk about opportunity, this is what I'm talking about. Chris, Twitter was quite good, in at $3.70, out at $9.20. That is from one of our students, Bob C. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 248% rate of return overnight. Now, I'm going to talk about who Chris is in just a moment. He is actually a director of options education with a whole bunch more credentials to go along with it. But first, let me talk about the company I represent, Market Traders Institute. We were founded in February of 1994 by one Jared F. Martinez. We're located in beautiful and almost nighttime Lake Mary, Florida. We have over 100 of the most talented staff in the industry. We have served over 30,000 clients worldwide, and our mission is to create successful traders through the empowerment of education. The reason I know this works, folks, is because I am a product of this education. I hold a degree in psychology and neuroscience, and I'm not here to talk about that. I trade the foreign currency market as well as the equity option market. I'm here to talk about the latter, not the former. I've gone through every single one of Market Traders Institute's courses and every single investment class that they offer. I've mentored thousands of traders, and currently I am the options department manager for the company. I've also been a corporate presenter as well as an account executive, helping others find a way to make the money that they're looking for. That's my goal in this today, is to show you something that maybe you didn't learn and also talk about a few myths. Now, I want to introduce really quickly to you a 14-year options trading veteran, Chris Irvin. He's been a contributing author to Fox Business, Trading Views, Invest, I&O. He was named a Trade King All-Star by the Trade King Brokerage, and over a couple of years ago, we're fortunate to have Chris join Market Traders Institute. Now, Chris always had an idea to create a course to teach people how to properly trade options. Now, some say, why does somebody want to teach people how to trade? Well, because of his history. He was a businessman. He started his own couple of companies. He was a youth pastor, and he really has a drive to give back to people. He's personally taught me more than I could ever imagine learning in such a short period of time. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to walk into his office daily and ask him a myriad of questions if I have them. One of the things that I am here to talk about also is not just opportunity, but how many people in here do I have? They have no problem hitting a buy or sell button. The problem occurs is after they hit that buy or sell button, they don't really know if it's going to go their way. I mean, how many people do I have like that? You don't know what's going to happen after you enter the trade. It's not entering a trade. Everybody loves to do that. I'll tell you right now, the funnest part of entering a trade for me is hitting buy or sell. Who's with me? Pierre? Only one of you guys? Don, okay. Andrew, okay. I read an article recently in Business Insider. It says, why do 94% of all traders fail? Guys, there's 200 of you in here. That means 12 will be successful. 12. Well, there's 3 reasons. And I want you guys to stick with me because I'm going to go through something in a second called Go Moment Trading, where I will actually evaluate stocks and show you how to do stuff right in front of your own eyes. The first problem is trade without testing. The second is a lack of a plan, and lastly is lack of education. I'm going to show you a time-tested way of education, and I'm going to prove to you right in front of you that it does work. Now, there's a couple of things I want to get out of the way before we jump in here, okay? How many people in here have heard of what we call the Greeks? Who in here has heard of the Greeks? I got one person in here said it's all Greek to me. Guys, yeah, I'm talking about the vega, the theta, the delta, the gamma, the rho. By the time you look at a trade, you don't know if you're looking at fraternity and sorority row or if you're actually trying to enter a trade. Guys, ultimately, Yep, good yogurt, bad economy. Gillian, that is one of the funniest statements I've heard today. Option trading does not need to be this complicated. It absolutely doesn't. A lot of other people wow you with all these sorts of fancy kind of trades. You know, I'm talking bull calls and bear puts and iron condors and butterflies and albatrosses and all sorts of flying fowl. And they're trying to wow you with all these multi-legged trades, and sometimes the placing so many legs in a trade can cost you more than you actually make in the trade. So you still end up negative even though you won the trade. You don't need all of these to be successful. Now the last big myth I hear all the time, James, the reason I don't trade options is because you're so risky in options. It's so much risk in them. Well, there's buyers and there's sellers ultimately at the end of the day, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, there are buyers and there's sellers, right? Now, buyers have a very limited risk, but an unlimited profit potential. Sellers have an unlimited risk and a very limited profit potential. Which of these would you rather be on? I mean, you tell me. Would you rather be a buyer where you know what your risk is and you have unlimited profits to make, or would you rather be a seller where you have unlimited risk? You can lose your shirt, your house, your car, your kids, whatever. Some people would love to lose their kids and their wife. And you only have limited profit potential. If you're just looking at this and evaluating it from your own eyes, you tell me right now, type a B in for buy and an S in for sell. If you want to be a buyer of options, type in a B. If you want to be a seller of options, type in an S. Don says B. Pierre says B. Sam, I'm not sure. Sam and Dean, I see you both wrote S for seller. Tell me why you'd like to be a seller of options. Diana says both. Buyer, buy. I got another seller in here. A lot of people in here are saying, hey, I'd like to sell options. Guys, you're telling me, okay, more chance to win. I'm going to challenge that myth, and I bet you, no, Gillian said Warren Buffett is a seller. George Soros is a seller. Dave Tepper says sell options. No. What they do is they buy a put. You see, when the market goes to fall, you can buy a put in the market. And then you still know what your risk is, and you still have unlimited profit potential. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Now, I want to really talk to you about go moment trading, okay? What does it involve? Well, really, it's just 3 steps. Everybody have a pen and a piece of paper? Everybody have a pen and a piece of paper? Give me a yes if you do, because I need you to write 3 things down on that pen and piece of paper. I want you to lean on that pen hard, and the ink will do the rest. Guys, there's 3 steps involved in trading. You need to evaluate, designate, and participate. The first step in evaluation is this. How many people in this room, and the first one to type it in, I'll give a kudos and a shout out to. How many people in here know how many publicly traded companies there are in the U.S.? Publicly traded companies on the stock market. Getting closer. Kathleen, you're too high. Bingo, Kayla, you nailed it right on the head. Guys, there are 40,000 publicly traded companies in the U.S. I'm including penny stocks and all of that in there. 40,000. What do you think I'm about to say is the biggest problem with that traders have? Kayla, 2 for 2. That's right, finding opportunity. You see, Dave Tepper, George Soros, those huge hedge fund managers in the world, they don't sit there and analyze 40,000 stocks. I'll be the first one to tell you that. They have a tool to help find what's actually moving. Okay? So if they have a tool to help them find what's actually moving, I personally feel you should have a tool to help find what's moving. Because technology levels the playing fields from the big wigs to us. So I'm going to show you a little piece of technology today called the Ultimate Market Scanner. It's going to help you quickly and easily identify highs, probability entries for stocks. You can create your own personal scans or use predefined power scans. And it's simple enough for the novice, but powerful enough for the advanced trader. Now the second step is to evaluate the actual chart. And we're going to talk about that using what we call our points of confluence. And I'll bring that up. Then the next part of Go Moment Trading is to actually designate which option to trade. Arturo, you don't need that kind of money, my friend. Arturo said, with that kind of money, I would have something to bring me opportunity as well. You don't need that kind of money. I promise you that. And the last step in Go Moment Trading, so once you've used the depot method and you've evaluated your stock, you've designated which option you're going to trade, you have to know if you can actually trade the darn thing. Well, let's be honest. If you don't have the money to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. So without any further ado, I'm going to just dive right in. Give me a second, guys. All right. So can everyone confirm with me they see a sign that says Ultimate Market Scanner? They see the Ultimate Charting software on their computer screen. Give me a Y or a yes in that. Perfect, Pierre and Andrew. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear all of this stuff out. Clear it out, clear it out, clear it out. All right. So the first thing, let's say you only want to look for a market that's going up. Okay? All you want is a market that's going up. I'm going to check off these boxes with these green arrows right here, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hit Scan All. Now what it just did right there in front of your eyes was it just said all of these, out of all those publicly traded companies, we have 2,388 trades that are winning trades that have won, and 259 of them have lost. That's a 90% winner. All I did right there was customize a scan. Simple as that, right there in front of your eyes. But guys, if you look through this, there's penny stocks, there's stocks for dollars. Those are not the ones that you want to be trading, in my opinion. That's me. I don't want to be trading them. So I'm going to say, let's go for a stock with a minimum value of 20 bucks. And the minimum shares and volume that I want to see traded is 1 million. Let's see, that's 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 million shares, okay? All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 1. That's 1 million shares. Now, when I hit Scan All again, it's going to show me that now only 310 stocks were winning and only 15 were losing based on those criteria, and that's 95.38% chance of winning. Guys, tell me yes or no. Are the odds in your favor? Yes or no? Are the odds in your favor? And I don't mean to be cheesy. That's not a game of, or what is it? That movie with Katniss Everdeen, I can't remember it. That's not a joke. The odds in your favor. Yes? Okay. We all agree that the odds are in our favor. So now this is all opportunity that's passed, though. All of these have already won. So what do? Well, I keep the same criteria, okay, and all I hit is pre-buy. All of these signals, 8 results. So we went from 40,000 to 8. In a matter of seconds. Change is fast, my friends. So we now look and we say, okay, here are all of our pre-buy opportunities. Okay? This is where our stop is going to be. This is where we need to take 50% of the profit if we're conservative, 75% of the profit if we are aggressive. So let's just take a look at someone right here. We have in front of us, we have TIBX, Tibico Software. We have TRW, Automotive Holdings Group, Fox, 21st Century Fox, Class A shares, Athlon Energy, Becton Dixon and Company, Time Warner, NWL Rubbermaid, and Amex. You tell me which one you want to look at. K, this scan criteria is a $20 stock or higher with 1 million shares in volatility. And AMX, I'm sorry, is America Mobile. So I have 2 Foxes, 1 TWX, 4 TW NWLs. All right, first thing we're going to do, let's just check out a little Rubbermaid action here. So the first thing I can do is I can look at a chart and say, where are we in relation to the pre-buy? Okay, here's the pre-buy. We're kind of right there. Our target's this, next target's that. Okay, wonderful. And let's say I want to view, let's show all time frames. What do those look like? Well, everything seems to be bullish there, so it doesn't matter. The daily, the weekly, they're all in sync. That's perfect. K, yes, I did get the K as, did you get the direction from just that? Absolutely. So the other thing I looked at, Mr. NA, I'd love to know your first name if you mind, so I can address you properly, is very bullish and very bullish short-term and long-term trend, okay? So NWL, now what's the next thing that I have to do? Well, we said we evaluate. Now we have to make sure that it's the right chart. So I'm going to go File, New Chart, and I'm going to type in NWL. All right? And I'm going to bring up a daily chart, and I'm going to hit Open. Close that out. I'm going to wait while that data loads, and there you have a chart. Now, I can see that right here is the most recent market low, okay? So I'm going to draw Fibonacci's really quick on that time. It's very simple. We teach you how to do it in the actual course, and I will show you the lesson. And let me zoom in a little bit more so people can see what I'm doing. All right. So the way Fibonacci works, guys, is we just need a 5 candlestick sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go to the next high. I don't want you to focus on the how did I do that, why did I do this, what can teach me this, teach me that, teach me that. That's what this course and the other offer I have will do for you. Just focus on this. The market went from this red line, and if it touches that red line, it's going to go to that red line. So let's bring back our Fibonacci tool. We hit that red line, and we ended up forming a 2 to the left, 2 to the right there. Let's delete our old Fibonacci. We see it went to this green line, so we need it to go to that green line, and there we have it. Next Fibonacci. And I want you to ask yourself, guys, I know I do this all the time, okay? This is what I feel like I was born to do. Let me ask this. Is what I'm doing looking hard to you? Am I just color coordinating here based on what that scan criteria was? I mean, does it look like rocket science? You tell me. All right, the market pulled back against me. I'm still waiting for it to hit my line, and did it blow through it? We see it did, right there in front of your eyes. So guess what we do? We apply another one. It's not that hard, folks. Trading does not have to be complicated. If there's anybody who has learned that, it is myself. You know, I used to think people that traded were like geniuses, rocket scientists. You had to be and have crazy intelligence to do so. So all I'm doing now is I'm going to pull this up. Let's make this red line my target. And we're just going until we get to the current market. Don't worry, it won't take too long, folks. Get to the current market, and there we had a gap down. Guess what you do? All you're going to do is you're going to delete your old Fibonacci, and we know that this market still has an uptrend. So let's find the lowest point in that gap, and that's where we should have started our Fibonacci's to begin with. I wanted to give you a few examples before we started. So here we go. We're going to dive right back into it. We go up. That's one. That ends up being 2. It went from this red line. It rose up to this red line. That's 3. Let's advance the chart forward. We're waiting, we're waiting. Let me draw a couple of horizontal lines so everybody in here can follow along with me. This is where we're going to. This is our deepest point in retracement. All we're going to do is go from our deepest point in retracement to our new high, which is right there. This will most likely take us to current market. This Fibonacci may have one more. Let's see. We're going to move this horizontal line up here. Yeah, we'll definitely have at least one more Fibonacci for the current market trend. We look for our lowest point in retracement. There's our red line. Let's see where we are. So we draw one more Fibonacci sequence. And will we have another one? Oh. Let's bring this chart down. This is where we're going. This is our target. That's where we are right here. And we've tested that twice now. We hit our target. This has to be the last Fibonacci sequence. And we are right. That's where we're going. Up. We are in a, there was one more, just got hit, looks like yesterday, folks. So last Fibonacci sequence that we draw, our latest one was hit, looks like a couple of weeks ago. We go right here. Our target is this price action 4019, our 1.16, our 1.618D extension, because we had a 5.0 pullback, and that's where we are. Kay says, it seems a little arbitrary. Kay, that's because I could come on here, Kay, and I could teach you every single thing I just said, where we found an A with a 2 to the left, 2 to the right extension, and then our D extension would be way up here, and there was no D extension until this number was hit. But everything correlates. Does everyone in here see how the red correlates with the red? And the blue correlates with the blue. And the green correlates with the green. It's as simple as that. So we started our scan. We see that, yes, this is confirmation of opportunity. All we need to do right now is let's draw a counter trend line here and say when this breaks this trend line, that will be the point of entry that we'd be looking for. Now what I want to do, go into Windows. Let's bring back the Ultimate Market Scanner. We had NWL. Oh, seems K. It's a little bit different, K. Because that does not work off of those. Give me a moment here, guys. What I'm going to do is bring that all the way back up. So, with this said, now I said that this scanner can do any single stock that you want. Someone in here, give me a symbol. Anybody. BBRY. And let's also do TSLA. Let's also do GME. And all I had to do was type in the symbols. It kept my scan criteria, $20, million in volume, and we have 2 of them that have been 100% winners here. So let's go back. Let's look at pre-buys, and Tesla has a pre-buy. We can look at Let's click on chart. It's going to pull the chart data here. It's updating because of in-to-day stuff right now. Pre-buys at 246.70. If we want to bring up Tesla, charting, new chart, TSLA. We're going to pick a daily chart and hit open. And we can see we're at 241.18. I could go ahead and plot out all of our fibs if we want, but you can also see, folks, that there is a pattern known as the head and shoulders on this. Right? Does everybody in here see that? We had a left tip. We had a head. And we are anticipating our right shoulder. Are we not? It's right there in front of you. It does not take long at all, and it's very, very simple when we go into and use this platform. So now all we have to do is select the right option. And what's going to help us do that is the depot method. These are the 5 most influential factors that are involved in choosing an option to trade. Can everyone in here see that? Okay, perfect. I see it just popped up there. Now the last phase is to participate. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to bring over, this is the actual Ultimate Options course. We have all the lessons to teach you about factors that influence a stock, Japanese candlesticks, everything, support and resistance, trend and trend lines, Fibonacci's. Everything I just talked about is here in the actual class. It took me all of 3 weeks to go through. We have access to the software and the scanner in there, and then we have the resources. We have the depot checklist in there. We have a trade map tutorial, ultimate option strategies. But let's bring up the equity trade map. This is how it works. I want everyone in here to see. So we're looking at bullish. And the first criteria that we're going to choose is, let's just say we have a $10,000 account. Max we ever want to risk in that account is 2%. Say the stock price, I like that even number, $20. And then get involved in anything in stocks, you're going to need 100 shares. We all know that the option is going to be a lot cheaper, I'm sure by now. $2.50 for the option, let's say. One contract equals that 100 shares. The option delta is 0.75. Hypothetical scenario. All right, so right now you can see, well, it cost me $2,000 to invest in the stock, $250 to invest in the option. As I type in the resistance level, let's say the stock, we're looking at the stock to go to 36, and the support level is at 18 based on our technical analysis, this over here is automatically calculated for you. What this is telling you is that if you were to invest $2,000 and buy the stock outright, you can make $1,564. Phenomenal rate of return. Couldn't argue with that. But the option, you mean to tell me I have the ability to invest $250 and I can make $1,173? Which would you rather do? Which rate of return is greater and which makes more sense? The option. Now check this out. Stop loss. If the stock moves to $17.82, you will lose $218. That is more than you actually said you wanted to lose. I know it's not by much, but it's more. If the option, if the stock were to fall to $17.82 and stop you out, the most you could lose is $163. Ron asked the question, what's the cost of all of this? Ron, I haven't had adequate time to show you everything. So today, what I'd like to do is I'm actually going to send out to every single one of you in this room right now a link to GoToMeeting. Entire audience, send. Everyone confirm with me that you got that link to GoToMeeting. Give me a Y or yes if you got it. If you didn't get it, let me know. Robert said it. Okay, wonderful. Felipe, Bjorn, Richard. Go ahead, click on that link. Now, as you click on that link, what's going to come up is you'll type in your name, your email address, and what that will do is that will get you registered for tomorrow. We will have a private webinar where we will be showcasing everything in the Ultimate Options course. We will be doing this not with myself, but with the Director of Options Education himself, Chris Irvin. And I would like to personally invite you all. Gillian, there it is. Just copy and paste that into your web browser, and I want you guys to go ahead and get registered for that. Because what I was able to show you tonight was a small peek into this education. Now, Andrew asked if there are any other times available. Everyone in here, I'm going to do also one very big thing. I know this seems crazy, and I must be crazy because I don't mind my email getting bombarded. MarketTraders.com. I just sent everybody my personal email. Andrew, I'll send it to you as well. It is jbishop@markettraders.com. If for whatever reason you're unable to make that, shoot me an email directly. I'll reply back to you and say, hey, we have this time, this time, this time. What can fit in your schedule? Let me go ahead and get you registered. And if you can't fit in any of those times, I can create a one-on-one meeting for you, myself, or one of my staff members here. So before I go and before I turn this back over, I don't want to keep people all night. I know you guys have been here all day long, but I want to ask, are there any questions? At this time, are there any questions? And just so you know, it's been effective. 25 of you are now registered for this webinar. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Bert, I can give you access to any webinar in the future. All I need you to do, Bert, and I will send you my personal email as well. Here it is. Oh, nope, that's the link. jbishop@markettraders.com. And there's my personal email, Bert. Folks, I'm going to send out that link one more time. Here it is to everybody. Continue to register. I look forward to seeing you all there. Our Director of Options Education himself will be teaching this. He is the actual course creator. Robert, not a problem. Email me. Just let me know when you're available, and we will make it happen for you, Robert. That's what I am about. I do not look at anything as a bad opportunity. I make stuff happen. MarketTraders.com. And there's my email for you, Robert. Any other questions before I go? Well, guys, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you to Investor Inspiration. Thank you to Reed as well for letting me be here. You've been a great audience. I know we kind of breezed through that. I don't like to take a lot of people's time. I really do feel complicated concepts can be broken down into easily understood strategies, and you don't need everything that people tell you you need to actually trade effectively. Sometimes too much junk and chaos can cause just that, junk and chaos.